He's trying to do.
BLG
Ooh,
this time,
Sivir
however, they're going to be the ones that ban the Sivir. So like you were saying, still want the Talia, at least that's what we're expecting coming out from BLG. And are TES finally going to drop this Poppy ban? Because they're not going to play it, and we have seen also BLG up against AL willing to give the champion over to, I think, a team that has been so prolific on this champion.
Okay, this sounded,
Alistair.
wow.
All right, Silas
I mean,
is, how much is Silas priority? Like, well, I guess.
Talia.
Yeah, I was gonna say Talia's still the B1 pick. I'm curious though
Yeah.
to see how Silas might start fitting into this draft. But let's just get Knight on something that he's been so routinely great on. A champion that feels like a dime a dozen this late into a draft. You need to put Knight on a pedestal to carry this one home for BLG, like he did in Game 4 the last
no
time
way they
these
don't
teams
Talia.
matched up.
Or is it Poppy B1? I don't think there's any way that they don't take Talia. Yeah, it's Poppy. Wow. Okay. I mean, this can be flexed between Shadow and On. But yeah, I think this opens up Top Esports to take a pretty strong bot lane and just to threaten and push that Poppy into the jungle role. As I'm curious,
Nautilus, I'm just trying to think of all the different engage supports, because we have not seen any mages.
I think Naught's the best pick.
Enchanter
Yeah.
play.
I definitely think you go Nautilus here because I mean now what they Callista Renata. It's not like you can't play into that as Nautilus even if you weren't happy about it. But I think Callista Renata looks really good right now for Elkanon.
Where does side priority also land? Already seeing an Analyst and Poppy locked in here.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout too. So curious to see what the grab. I mean, I'm shocked that Talia drops like this too, because you can pair Talia up with Poppy, but I think Nautilus Talia is already a really good start if Top Esports want this. So yeah.
Okay. They were trying to decide whether or not they're going to pick an 80 carry. Seems like we're going to go for the Talia.
This is the right call for me.
It took us all very long here.
Is it
this
Elise?
going to be Caitlyn Elise?
Again?
This has been a popular combo that we've been getting
Game
from
5 bottom
Elkanon.
lane.
I know Nymera was talking about it on Twitter, talking about that Elkanon and really BLG have relied on this combo, trying to bait engage from their opponents.
You know, I haven't seen Senna. I haven't seen Senna from JackeyLove pretty much all year, which is shocking.
Oh! JackeyLove locks in his pocket-picked Raven, looking to end the series.
I mean, uniquely, you have some defense into Poppy with the stand aside. You can try and cancel the dash. But I think that Shadow can just preemptively flash E. And I mean, this is making bot as volatile as possible. You are double outranged. Nautilus can help with that, but
just like Game 5.
I despise Dravens later on because I think that you're so gated by range and your ability to interact with the game. It really is going to be on Top Esports to take picks to allow for that. Talia Nautilus helps, but now you're forced to kind of build a comp around, okay, can we get Draven ahead? Can we get him an initial kill? And then can we actually help create space for Draven or help him peel? Because he has to be big enough, have enough stats in the game to really be able to survive the game and thrive in it. So, yeah, it's all early game now.
Two champions that I'm going to keep my eye out for Knight is going to be his Swain and his Lissandra, two champions we've seen so far in this playoffs. I think would pair
I'd
well
like a
with
Wispan.
yeah, coming out kind of pairs well with the Poppy already. And I think if we're talking about being range gated, being able to get around this Talia with this Unraveled Earth is going to be really important.
I think with Sandra ban here or a Silas ban, because I can also see a lot of value in Silas being that pseudo frontline. Can also grab a depth charge that adds a lot of pressure to the Draven. So obviously a pick that both Creme, Kanavi, and Knight, three players that play it at a really high level in this series. Top Esports going to take that one away. I'm not as worried about the Swain. I think I'm more worried about an Ahri here. Because I think Ahri's ability to be mobile and charms can lead to cocoons, or cocoons can lead to charms. Then you can really try and play this pick comp for BLG that I'm scared of. On top of Knight being one of the best Ahri players in the world. So I think that's the angle I'm looking for when it comes to BLG here.
All right, we're blinding top, guys.
Counter pick? Blinding top. Okay, yeah, that's gonna.
I thought maybe 369 would want a little bit more info as to what he was going to work with, but we're getting Nocturne, so I don't think that Top Esports are going to be moving backwards throughout most of this game. If anything, the Nocturnal can actually just be used as a delay tactic to try to stop BLG from all moving forward.
I think it's Ahri Cassante.
Elise.
I think it's Ahri Cassante coming in here. I think Ben's just going to slam the Cassante. The Narban tells me that. We'll see what else he might have in mind, but makes sense to me. And now 369, we'll see what kind of answer he has. You can get a little bit creative in the Cassante, but I mean, the Camille is not a champ that we really talk about that much anymore. I think Jax actually does have some value to get out of the headshots here, but it's really tough to play into Poppy. So I'm kind of curious what the choice is for 369. Is it a Mordekaiser? That's the other pick I was going to go for. Because if you remove Poppy or Cassante from the fight, that is an extremely squishy team that BLG is going to have as a 4-stack if you take one of those tanks out. So I think that's the theory. Try and play the 4v4, which makes a lot of space for the Draven. If you're removing someone from the map completely, that could really help enable JackeyLove and the rest of the squad.
Oh, is this going to be... I don't want to call it quite yet because we still have time. I was wondering if this is going to maybe be some spicy Elise jungle.
It's Elise support. No, it's
Shadow is a bit of a... he's a bit of an AP aficionado, but not going to be the case here. All right, well... Hopefully we get some spice going down in the bottom lane. And for 369, 17-3 all-time on this Mordekaiser. Very rarely picks it out, but when he does, I feel like has a massive amount of impact in games.
You know, I'm piggybacking off that Mordekaiser and the point you made with the Nocturne, right? I'm glad you called it out. The sort of defensive nature or the stall nature of this Nocturne, right? If TES are in a spot where they don't like where the fight's looking, they feel like they're getting cornered, they're trapped, you pull one person to the death realm, you turn the lights off, you're now daring a Cocoon to go into darkness, a Charm to go into darkness, maybe Keeper's Verdict's getting channeled. You drop the lights, you have so much more outplay potential here for top esports.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free ticket into the back line. The Spell Shield gives you some defense against Poppy because you have to be wary of the Keeper's Verdicts. Also, the Tether still impacts Elise when she goes airborne with the E.
Yes.
So if she drops, you can still get feared. So I like it for a lot of reasons this game, honestly, for Kanavi. I like this top esports draft. I think that this is a really good one for top. It just has to be, can bot lanes survive? Because Draven Nautilus, it's all about getting that early kill. And it's going to be an early onslaught coming out from BLG's bot lane.
Yes, BLG Game 4. Giles need to be loud as they've been all night.
Swap?
Oh, no, not again.
Cassante's by himself?
So, I don't want to spoil things here. But, of course, swaps were pretty much fully negated by Riot Games with some of the choices they made in terms of balancing the game. There is only one way to play for a lane swap right now, and BLG are doing that. And that is that, I don't want to give this away, because we might see this, but you have to play in between the turrets. If you want to actually take away the lane swap, like nullifications, they aren't going to do it. It was just Bin going down bot. Kind of smart. I mean, worst comes to worst, Bin starts W, and you can catch the hook and back out.
We have also seen an evolution of the lane swaps that we kind of saw when they were popular.
Yeah, it's going to be later on.
KT versus HLE series, actually, where they started the Kaisa in the top lane versus the Cassante, and it was fun.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, not going to see that. We are just going to have normal, regular lanes. Kanavi, yet again, spotted early, this time not contested by anyone on top esports to clear it out. And they will know, and the junglers are going to be on opposite sides, or clearing towards opposite sides of the map.
Gotta say, I would expect Shadow to 3-camp and then go get up in the face of the Nocturne here, because this Elise Kate should be up early. So we will see if Shadow even plays for his top camp, because if I'm Shadow, I'm thinking right now, like, what can I do in the Nocturne? Is level 3 popular? I'm really strong. Like, can I get up and get involved?
She's going red buff invade? Okay.
I mean, Kate hit the wave very early. Like, it was a... Oh, wow, Kanavi's going to come answer. This is spotted. They each have each other spotted here. Yeah. Wow. This is wild.
I think Shadow comes out as a bit bigger of a winner here by slowing that clear for Kanavi. So now
I don't think so.
No.
I think Kanavi, like, this is the only way that he gets his bot camps. I think that him doing this is actually really big. Because now, again, if this was allowed where Kanavi takes his 3 camps on the top side, I don't think he gets access to these camps. So Kanavi getting these for me is a win. I don't care that you slow down the Nocturne clear. The fact that Nocturne gets a full clear off is advantage Nocturne is...
Looking for a dredge line. He's going to eat it. Drops the Cocoon. Switching the Spider form and shows why. There's so much innate burst damage for this bottom lane that all kind of highlighted in the draft. But if you forget the upper bracket finals, Game 5, Elkanon ran
Shadow
over
has to know that that was warded. Like, you saw Kanavi wobbling based on where you were walking. Shadow has to know you just walked over a ward. I guess he might be going to contest the top side. Bin has the Mordekaiser under turret right now, so yeah, going to be a race up here. Again, Poppy level 3 with a red buff. Advantage over Nocturne.
I was just checking. He doesn't know that that ward is there. He can have maybe an idea that it is, but now he's going to have, he's getting stopped. Shadow is completely unable to get anything done here in this early game, and Kanavi is just basically playing with free map. What the?
Shadow wanted the slam. He knew that Knight was coming over first, so they're going to trade flashes. Knight here to cover for Shadow. Creme is behind both of them. Neither top laner has moved an inch by this point, so it's all just a stall game as they tether around the aggro of that red buff.
Still think it's a win here for top esports. Like, Kanavi is going to eventually still
it.
have access
Yeah.
to that red buff. You maybe lose Flash, so in the next few minutes, maybe there's maybe a play if we can get Elise to come through the bottom lane or leave Caitlyn alone. Otherwise, he's actually just going to completely forego the red buff for now and maybe make an entrance top.
Rare 3 level 6 Nocturne gank, but the burst again of Caitlyn Elise, just like Game 5 in the upper bracket finals. It's Elkin to find first blood.
So Hong didn't take Spellbook this game. He took Aftershock. I understand why, because you're trying to get out of the, you know, the chains that Kate can throw at you. If you can have Aftershock up while you're eating the, 90 caliber net or the headshots, it's good. That said, he's not able to get it off. He gets one shot there.
Wall. Shadow's going to try and kite back towards Bin. It's Creme here first. Kanavi takes a ton of damage. Unravel Earth comes across. Knight's going to flash after, get a full range Q and snipe down Kanavi. 369 trying to get his passive up. See if he can push enough damage out. Good claw away from Shadow, but he can't get his W shield. And everything goes wrong for top esports, losing across the map, and Knight senses fear in them, hits the max range charm into another Q. Knight arrives again to rescue BLG.
This is Knight's Ahri, a pick that has been feared in the past years for the LPL, showing up in Game 4 and showing out. That flash initially from Knight to make sure that he hit both sides of the orb was the game changer in this skirmish for me. Take a second look at Knight. He's able to get here second to Creme, as I really felt like this was almost Shadow in trouble. Kanavi as Conqueror going. Creme is here first. I think the flash from Creme somewhat justified. Great reaction from Shadow, though, to hop out. And Knight, that flash, he hit both parts of the Q onto Kanavi. And Knight gets the blue buff from that and just has a beautiful skirmish from here on out.
Kanavi, I mean, I feel like you're going really, really far. That right there is wrapping around the Nautilus. Just want to pull up Knight's stats real quick. 75 games, 58 and 17 on Ahri all time.
I mean, look what he's commanding now. He's getting 3-man jumps, but he gets the level up. He gets the Spirit Rush. Flick back comes across, but Knight is out.
Wow, just one creep. That's the mastery that these guys can play on. As Knight, I thought he was dead at that angle. It's a no flash, no 6 Ahri. That's the dream to find before she dings it. But Knight hits 6, clutches up. Spirit rushes his way on out of there. And BLG have themselves a 2K gold lead early on.
Okay, maybe there's a play here. It is going to be spotted on Vision. Hong's going to channel the Hex Flash. JackeyLove has 100 stacks of Adoration.
Yeah, he needs to cash those in, but nothing more to be found here. Elk was over the wall waiting. Just a look at the sheer gold lead. The BLG command right now at 6.5 minutes. This is preposterous.
I mean, they lose the plate on bottom side, and so I think right now what top esports are going to have to hope is that whether it's a top side play around these Grubs, maybe it's somewhere along the bottom side. Make this play on the Knight.
No
flash, no dash, no way out except just sidestepping anything Creme throws at him. That was gross, Knight.
I mean, it's a no 6 Nocturne. Like I just don't get why top esports are pushing so hard around this. Like, yes, Knight wants to go back now, but we're just throwing away tools in the Knight for nothing. As Knight, I mean, this has been a player that has been focused by top esports. You look at both series across the length of it. There have been a lot of games where Kanavi has put early focus in the Knight, swings that mid lane matchup in Creme's favor. Every tool that's been thrown in the Knight, this game has been dealt with flying colors, as Knight has just played beautifully so far on the defense, and that early game plan from top esports just completely wayward.
Yet another disgusting caster curse from ourselves. It was on, now it's Knight. It is the Knight versus Creme matchup coming into this game. Shadow's going to grab himself an early dragon here at 7.5 minutes with his bottom lane. Still have time to rotate into the top side. Kanavi will hit 6, but is going towards the opposite side of the map. I think BLG are in really, really strong spots here. Kanavi's going to forego this bottom side camps, knows he has to play for this side. They're going to pull JackeyLove and Hong. This is going to be the make or break moment in my eyes. If JackeyLove can get a cash in with these adorations, it'll pull the gold lead at least a little bit back in their favor and hopefully give him the spike that he needs.
Agree. Knight and Elk, though, are so much stronger coming into this fight. Dragon has already been taken down. They're coming off reset, so they're a little bit late. Top's going to get a little bit because of that, at least one Grub falling. But yeah, if I'm BLG, I think I'm stronger now. I still want this fight.
All right, the Shadow Treasure. I got to go long from Hong, and he eats a charm. and he is cut down very rapidly. They use the lights to go out to try and secure more space for Creme as the engage goes on to Bin, but Creme just out of position, has to pay the toll. Kanavi flies away from Bin, the guy he jumped on. This game reeking of desperation as it slips further and further out of the grasp of Top Esports. And Knight wants more. He is not full yet to be satiated, but finally he seems mortal, missing a charm, but it's been there to clean it up nonetheless.
They can't dive 369. He has ult, but it's still giant win for BLG as Top Esports. They get 2 grubs, but give up a lot of gold in the process. It's a 4K gold deficit now. With the Mordekaiser being stuck in the K-to-Lease lane, that is the worst case scenario for 369. JackeyLove, I mean, the only shining light is that JackeyLove is yet to die, so still has the adoration stacks and still could, slingshot his way back into the game. But this is a rather dire early game here, as BLG have just nuked the game.
Oh, wait a minute.
Can they not dive a Mordekaiser? Oh, ace in the hole. It's just layered beautifully.
And they may have lost majority of the grubs. I don't think it matters. We got to see that Kanavi uses the ultimate there to try to get away from the spot. Draven's going to use this ultimate to clean up some of this wave, but still another plate going over to BLG's bottom lane. Another plate now going over to Knight. They're showing not only mastery of some of these champions that we have talked about through draft, but just the gameplay, like Top Esports kind of tripping over themselves to make things happen in this game number 4.
And I got to give some credit over to Shadow, because we know that we've said that Shadow, despite, no matter which jungler has been in the series, it feels like Kanavi has been the better jungler overall when looking at these 2 best-of-5s, but Shadow really clutched up in Game 5 to get BLG here through the upper bracket. And this game, I mean, this whole disastrous game started off of Kanavi overextending and getting outplayed by Shadow and Knight in that top side. So, this is a game where it backs up against the wall. We saw 1-2 for BLG. What did they do in the last series? Well, they subbed out Beishuan for Shadow, and Shadow's the one that carried them through. What happens when it gets to 1-2 here? They don't go back to the well for Beishuan. They stick with Shadow, and Shadow has been able to have a pretty, somewhat stable early game against the Nocturne. He is ahead at this point and really opened up the one big play that did help BLG get this very significant lead in a game that we feel like should already be over, given the lead that BLG has right now.
If we pull out talking about BLG junglers, and specifically Shadow and Beishuan, I'd have to hold this. Kanavi.
A good cocoon, though. We weren't expecting it over the wall. Spirit rush through. Doesn't get enough damage. Depth charge is going to land, but they're not going to commit the paranoia on tonight. He gets out. Instead, they go after On. Still has the repel if he needs it, but he's pinned against the wall and sent back packing by Creme. Nice little find to get TES on the board. No more perfect game.
Trying to go for too many different plays there. They thought they could do something around mid. Maybe they could catch Ahri. They get the ult and the flash out from Knight. On ends up going down, but that is a kill going over to Creme. No adoration stacks, and still, BLG are getting waves on opposite sides of the maps that Top Esports are not catching right now. So this gives them a little bit of reprieve if you're TES, but they still have a long ways away here in this game to make it back up.
I mean, you gotta play for shutdowns, as they at least cancel Knight's recall, but get nothing more. So it's a win for Top, as they have info to play for anything else. And yeah, I mean, On gets to play very far forward on this release. I mean, a pick that really only On has stuck with globally, it feels like. And this has been his pick, where they go back to the well. The well for BLG is it is K-to-Lease.
It's a staple.
Teleports out, so he survives. It's going to turn potentially into a turret here. At least 1 plate, maybe 2 with the headshot passives from Caitlyn. Shadow and On helping to protect the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean,
JackeyLove still on those adoration stacks. They're trying to protect the turret. They're putting a lot of manpower here down to this side of the map, but it is a treacherous step, each one forward near these traps. And I mean, they're kind of leaving JackeyLove out on an island here. Out of position, they're going to jump on Hog as they see Kanavi reset, and that's more than enough single target burst. And now JackeyLove, you've been clutching towards those adoration stacks like pearls around your neck, but the entire armada of BLG wants them, and they'll claim them with an ace in the hole to be the cherry on top.
A lot of this starts, I want to give BLG credit. We've seen them intently put the Kate Elise into the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser does not want to play into that combo. The first time we saw him die up top, this time we saw him TP to get away from it. The fact that they're forcing the swaps, it's forced Top Esports to swap down tempo, which is increasing the lead only for BLG, as they will clean up this turret. while all that was going on, I mean, 369 was forced to TP up top. He's jailed. And it is top looking for a fight. Yeah, I mean, bot lane didn't reset. I actually like this from top. I think they're kind of forced to like do something goofier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, they have to throw everything at the wall until something sticks. But all it's been sticking is layering CC from Elk and on to kill off Hong. Kanavi finds one trade back on a Knight. Creep's going to flash away from Bit, but he's going to follow him over the wall. Has the all-out if he needs it. Going to pull the trigger on that one. Damage up his amplification power and send Cream packing. Oh, and grab the dragon on the back end of it.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that it's a little bit of desperation, like, clearly, but Knight was no ult. They did get Bin's TP out, and 369 at least got to play it. So it looks grim for top esports, but hell, it's a grim game to begin with before we get into that. So I feel like top, I mean, we're really seeing them reach into desperation. And, man, I mean, this is a series. Yeah, I mean, this is a series now where BLG, the 2 games that they've won, I mean, this has been incredibly one-sided if they are to wrap this one up and push us to 5.
Oh my god, Kanavi can't even grab this. It'll be at least a turret being traded. Like, 369 finally does grab himself this turret.
Got a bounty.
Objective bounty as well, so pity prizes a galore. But does On chase this? I mean, Knight has ult. Knight's in the area.
Use the rocket belt to get away from the claw, then hits the cocoon into the charm. That layering you guys talked about has been on point all game long for BLG, and well, now they feel like they can't just run down their opponents. Shadow just daring JackeyLove to try and throw autos at him. You don't know who's behind this, Poppy. It could be the entire BLG team.
It's a mid-wave for sure. Caitlyn's still going to take this next one too. Knight gets paid on the top side. They've got Herald to play for after they're done pillaging the top side of this map. BLG make it look easy here with this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is just start to finish, and it's kind of what happens when you take, you know, a not Draven lane into a Kate Elise lane. Things can get very out of control very early if things do get volatile. Those are 2 very volatile lanes being taken. And yeah, I mean, it was BLG. Their jungler is the one that was able to interact with that lane better earlier. And part of that was also because Kanavi decided to take a few plays on the top side that was unwarranted. So
a point that I was trying to make earlier, and we'll see what happens with this Herald play in mid, is that when Shadow did join the lineup, he was just playing pretty decently for himself, like even just away from playing with BLG.
Hold on, Elk. Another desperation play here. They do get the knockups and the paranoia down onto Elk. He's able to flash over the wall, but now he's surrounded, trapped in the death realm, and well, 369 flashes after to secure that first shutdown. Goal number 1 accomplished. How much work can you get on the back end of it? Knight here still has flash, still has Spirit Rush, and there is no point chasing Inari with all those tools at their disposal. Nonetheless, big amount of gold into the pocket of 369.
So Elk burned both Sums and Barrier, still dies. That is something where with the Nocturne and an Analyst, you can try to rinse and repeat. This is what top esports needs. I think they needed a volatile game.
Big empowered blast cone into a charm onto who else but Creme the turret to get the job done. Push back on Hong into his own turret. And now Shadow gets to start running down Knight alongside him, but no Spirit Rush means they can't find those last couple of kills.
There just isn't a post play that top esports can win. They're throwing everything they have just to get any sort of ounce of a lead. And they're trying to play out objectives with numbers after that and just can't do it. I think
Shadow
Kanavi's
gets
too.
this. Yep.
Yes, he does.
Let's get to game 5, boys. Yeah, this one's kind of chalked. It's 8,000 gold lead at 16 minutes. Every BLG win has been overwhelmingly a BLG win. Top esports feels like they have to really fight and claw for every single advantage so far in this series. Incredibly well coordinated between On and Knight here. Every piece of CC lands. The turret is also hitting him at the same time thanks to that unraveled Earth. Also, I will say, Hong, for as prolific as he is supposed to be known for these Hook champions, has been kind of off his game so far in this Nautilus.
It's been an off game. Again, I mean, kind of what happens, though, when you are able to send resources to this Kato East lane and they get going to the depths that they've been going. This top esports draft doesn't feel like... we weren't as against this one as the game 2-1, but for sure when Draven Nautilus can't really answer the strength of this Kato East lane, yeah, I mean, things can get out of control and out of hand quite quickly. So I think any shutdown that can come on a JackeyLove would be a big win. He's trying to get those adoration stacks back. I mean, he's almost at 250. That is quite a bit.
What's interesting, though, you guys talked about, we still weren't the biggest fans of this draft, but it is top esports taking some of those champions you guys highlighted as big picks, right?
They might get
still
on.
The Nautilus and still the Talia. that TES are going to lose access on. They're going to go after On, and man, my God, he's just stun locked. Depth charge over. No
kills.
flash,
That's
no barrier on this Caitlyn. Kanavi's going to get on top of him. Creme uses the Weaver's Wall to get close enough, but they don't get the flick back on the seismic shove. It's going to have to be a flash
Oh
over,
my
but
God.
Elk still survives and thrives as Knight lands another charm. Creme to go down to a Q. Give Knight another reset. See you later, TES. You can't find that engage. They throw Bin into the Death Realm, but he's going to come out with more than enough support that he needs because Shadow is there on the flank. All out to pull JackeyLove, who flashes after Elk, but he can't even find that kill. Nothing going right for top esports as they once again have to swallow the harsh pill of throwing a game 4 and going the distance against Bilibili Gaming.
I mean, it started with 2 picks onto the bot lane of BLG, but unfortunately, it still is a 10k gold deficit, and I think that's one of the bigger wallet diff fights I've seen. I don't know how Elk got his way out of that one, but he did against the Nocturne and the Talia as BLG. I mean, again, top esports, they've had a couple moments where this is a squishy Volatile comp they're going up against. They were actually able to find stuff. I mean, this W from On didn't make it into the brush. He walked up with a false sense of security. He gets taken out. Elk is split up. How does Elk live this, though? Like, everything gets thrown into Elk as...
It's just Nocturne.
Oh, the
Creme
wall.
get to land anything?
He should have taken the wall down earlier.
Oh,
the
doesn't
arm
get
miss
the
from JackeyLove. Oh, man. Just a series of unfortunate events there. That should have been 2 kills for sure for top. That could have been a big moment for them, honestly, getting back in. But no, I mean, it just gets taken away immediately. And now they're down numbers. Fight comes in. Shadow, BLG, ready to thrive.
Look at JackeyLove. He's trying, man. He's trying to get every single... He flashes forward, doesn't get the stand aside, right into the trap. It's another Dragon Soul point. I don't think we're seeing a soul here in this game, gentlemen. It's going to be an Otacon that spawns on the top side. You can already see that BLG are trying to use this mid-wave to walk into the top side jungle of TES.
They'll do that with ease, Ulk. And they'll turn onto, again, an epic monster that have seen such proportional gold leads thrown away so many times in the LPL, but in this game, I want to point out just how much of a stat stick and a guarantee it is for BLG. That's just how dominant they are in this game 4, and it's hard to even think about game 5 with how much bad TS has just gotten slapped around. I mean, the vibes, the mentality of losing like this when you could have had everything with this game win, we'll just have to see how much it weighs on this team.
Is there even a play for them to make? I mean, like, Creme's going to have to pick up this mid-wave, and as soon as he shows there, I'm sure that BLG are going to try to pull this objective. Now it's going to come down to, can Creme get here in time with the Weaver's Wall? Can top esports even walk in with 4 members?
Not against Katowice. I mean, Katowice, sorry, it's so hard. Like, Mordekaiser behind like this, you just aren't useful as a champion. Like, you need to be playing from ahead. I think thematically it's tough. Top gonna try.
What the?
They do actually end up grabbing On. There's Kanavi diving in, but a great repel comes across from On. Elk has to flash away for 369. They get Elk and On out of this one. It's actually Kanavi that picks up the Otacon, and Knight is very low, but he charms JackeyLove on the backside of the fight. 369 finds the kill onto Elk. Now Shadow very low. We're starting to see the wall of diff come through again. There's just not enough damage, not enough juice in the TES smoothie to make anything worth coming away with. The kills start to fall right back towards BLG. Creme desperately kiting himself back, but Ben has more than enough health, more than enough cooldowns, and oh, a flash to top it all out. Another BLG Ace.
Yep. It's cool that top esports grab themselves the Otacon, but that might just be the biggest pity prize of them all here in this game number 4. I don't know what else to say, Cubby. Like, it was nice. It's cool that they got it, but I don't think it ultimately changes what is going to be the outcome of this game.
I mean, I think it's telling, like, a lot of the strength that BLG took were in their lanes, and the setups are harder for them. Like, I think that Shadow got, really nice there from
Nice buffer.
They waited a little bit too long on this. I think 369 able to get Elk. I mean, this is really significant. I think that Ben zoning off JackeyLove like this, like, probably is not that worth it. And Jackie's like really not the problem in this one. You kind of abandoned Elk and On while you were able to create some chaos. Because, yes, top esports are getting wallet dipped, but I do think that some of these setups from BLG, it first shows off like how volatile this bot lane is and some of the difficulties of that later on in the game. But I also think that overall it could be a little bit cleaner, could be a little bit better.
That's not happening. Cubby, come on. You've been here for, what, like 9+ months here? You should know BLG are not going to have clean objective setups. It's been like that for 2 years. You got to get with the program. We're here in Grand Finals, man. Come on.
We picked all hands, man. It's fine. Just give BLG the hands champs, and it's chill, as always.
It's all hands on deck. It just happens to be literally in the game.
And again, it can be frustrating and signs that we can point to that they should be punished on, and especially on a stage like this, but it's hard to knock the results-based analysis for BLG, right, guys? The all-hands diff, if it's working, you can't scrutinize it that much until maybe we start having worlds conversations.
I think we can. Some of these objective setups have made me very sad. For Cubby, makes him cringe a little bit. I know you guys don't have access to caster cams, but it's been rather fun to watch. They're going to have an 11,000 gold lead before the 4th dragon spawns at 23 minutes.
Otacon did level out the levels a wee bit, but yeah, that no overcoming that gold differential. As the luxury items are in place for BLG. I mean, a verdant barrier on the Ahri. That's going to be really nice for Knight, taking away some of that power.
I'm sensing another half-court attempt here from TES to scramble some gold back and try to deny this soul up in 10 seconds. They take a big stance in the river, and what do they find? Jack Squat. They don't let any of the CC shout, says, I'm going forward into the 3-man keeper's work. That was deceptively disgusting. Lights go out, but they still see 369. He pulls Shadow into the Death Realm, but he doesn't even win in his home arena right now. He's buying time. JackeyLove gets a reset on tonight. They do end up trading out 369. JackeyLove doesn't have the damage to contend with Bin for now, but they've able to trade themselves 1-for-1, knock Knight out of the picture. Creme tried to split BLG right down the seams, but they can't commit to it just yet, and everyone tries to calm back down as the Dragon hits the Rift.
Knight has no TP, and the Elise should be, like, this is a good state for Elise, just stand off, get the spam out the Spider Wings, it's okay. So BLG should be able to fight their way back into this one.
Creme coming back.
You can see things looking rather grim for top, and I mean, Chemsoul is, I think, pretty deceptively strong. A lot of that power comes in the damage reduction when you get low, which is kind of hidden. And yeah, it's going to be even harder for top esports team. Already down 11k gold. Actually find kills and wrap those up. So good pickup for BLG as, again, I think some of their strength shown through.
That was a pretty decent fight, all things considered. Like, they were able to take it slow from top esports. It's as winning as it's going to get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is, like, it's why it was so important that BLG got off to the start they did, because when you're playing with Elite support, I mean, you are there for damage and gold value, and you don't bring a lot of utility outside of that. Like, your Cocoon is used to set up charms and traps, and that's nice, but, yeah, I mean, it's not the same consistent team fighting tools we're used to seeing out of support, and I think we are seeing some of the oopsies there and some of the power of tops, like more cohesive draft, but we're still in the state where just no world, no gold value, where that's going to change anything as Kanavi.
Here's some more gold value back towards BLG. Actually, good fear from Kanavi, gets himself out, but I think BLG will take the victory in the fact that there's no paranoia and there's no way for Kanavi to dive in for a 50-50.
369's not going to make it here in time. He has to catch a mid-wave. You can see that Knight and On are just sitting in this brush waiting to make a pick. I think this is desperate from top esports. We should just be attending waves. Maybe we just try to pick up a top wave.
Okay, Bin on the front lines. Just kind of staring down 4 members of TES. Baron's going to be picked up. Whirling Death does not land. They're going to stun onto 369. Can they get him before he pulls the Death Realm? Yes! 369 goes down. Shadow goes forward. BLG looking for the final march forward, and they're using their huge gold lead to show TES who's the big boss on the Rift. 2 absolute slobber knockings from BLG have gotten them to the distance. For the 2nd time in a week, we go 5 games. We bring Silver Scrapes to the Split 3 Grand Finals with the #1 world seed on the line.
It is another 27-minute victory here for BLG in this series. Another dominating display against top esports. And Slayer, you said it best. Let's get those Chinese Silver Scrapes up and running for the fans, because we're going to Game 5.
What a game, what a series. I mean, all it's been a treat to be blessed with this series twice in a row. Cubby, how you feeling knowing we're going the distance once again, top esports BLG?
I hope we get a closer Game 5. That's how I'm feeling. That one was pretty over pretty soon, as the 2 BLG wins, props to them. They've been dominant. But man, like these closer games, I think that we're seeing some of the strengths of top esports really shine. Those objective setups, how they're able to play. Don't think they were able to play out that game pretty early on in that game. I mean, once Kanavi got behind to the state he did, 3-4 cold down. Weren't able to contest the bot dive a couple times. I do want to give BLG a lot of credit. This K2 is very scary from them. It is their comfort. It is the well they go back to when things get tough, when they have to dig deep and try and find something. that's going to be off the table now. They used this to beat Top Esports in Game 5 last time. They'd use it in Game 4 this time around. We'll see what happens in Game 5.
That's what I was going to bring up. The difference between this series and the last one was we saw a game like this from BLG and that bottom lane, but it was in Game 5 to end the series. Now they got to go to it a game early, and we have no idea what Game 5 lies ahead of us. It is on one trio to figure out what we could be getting, and that is our analyst desk, as they will break down Game 4 and try and set up expectations for the final game of Split 3, TES BLG Game 5. Analyst desk, take it away.
Well, 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 we find ourselves with a 5-game finals. Bangers only. .lpl. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by K-Man. I've got Rude Dude here as well. Kai pushing the buttons behind the screen, and I'm just so happy we get to go to the distance. It's a little bit unfortunate the way that BLG have dominated the games that they have won, but there's a lot of conversations coming into this game number 5. I'm going to start with you, K-Man. What are your feelings coming away for Top Esports after that unfortunate incident? I feel like all across game number 4.
My feelings are that these teams should watch the analyst desk and listen to what we are talking about, because that's the second time this series where we have said something right at the end of the analyst desk, and then it's immediately gone back to bite some losing team. If you are losing in the early game, do not keep running it down. It will get better at some point. It just got so out of control so quickly. I think a couple of mistakes in draft here, even if I do like Top Esports draft in theory, Knight's Ahri is just too much of a problem to give over.
And, you know, you look at these stats, these numbers, the game itself, it wasn't particularly pretty to watch. If you're a Top Esports fan, BLG fans will be rejoicing, but On had a wonderful time of things on the Elise, and I think that was, you know, he's one of the players that I really want to sing the praises of for not just this game, but this series as well. We can do that a little bit later, but you can look across the board how just everywhere is involved. The kill participation is not particularly exciting for BLG, but you just know that really wherever anything's happening, you're going to have the chance to get Knight there. Knight Ahri delivering as we maybe didn't know was going to happen, but that we expected it would.
I'm not going to lie, I'm getting like PTSD right now, because back in 2023 summer when I went to Sion and I watched JackeyLove lock in a Draven and it did not go his way in that one, and I was unbelievably excited about it. It didn't go his way this time again. So I guess it's just a little bit of a curse in finals here for him. But I guess when we're talking about how these teams have approached this, we have to think that Top Esports are going to be back on the blue side, and that's going to provide them a lot of strength into Game 5. And we're already getting kind of nutty drafts coming into this game itself. And I'm very curious once we get to that conversation of what's going to happen for game number 5. But is it just another mid MVP? Are we just 4 for 4 for mid MVPs this time around, Rude?
It's entirely possible. The Knight Ahri was very, very solid, and I don't think anybody's going to be complaining if it so happens to be that he gets another MVP for his performance in this series, and then for this Ahri game in particular, charm after charm landing. We were finding several different saves as well. There were certain instances, you know, like one on our screen right now, where Elk very, very much likely to go down. However, does manage to claw his way back in and you know, get saved by Knight in this instance.
And I think that's really the clutch factor of Knight, is that he's always doing the right thing on these champions, even if it's not the most obvious thing. And, you know, not that saving your AD carry is not the obvious thing, but just rather, I think there are multiple plays throughout this game that are pretty indicative of just him finding angles that I think other Ahri players don't find as easily here. Being able to find avenues onto Creme on the Talia in particular to really take him out of these fights. This was one of the more chaotic ones on the Otacon in this one. We actually do get the steal coming in from Kanavi. You know, we were talking about this. If they weren't down 10k gold, this might actually have been an okay fight for Top Esports. It just, I mean, early game, mid game, it was such a disaster. You gave so much free gold and experience and just general tempo over to BLG. There was no way to play this out, even if you were perfect.
But why was it close though, Rude? Why did it feel close? Why were there moments you're like, how is Top Esports fighting back a 10,000 gold lead?
I mean, I dare say there's an element of disrespect from BLG when they know they're so far ahead. Like, I would do the same thing. I think the majority of us would as well, where we're in these positions that, well, these guys are, they're so far behind that it's pretty difficult to lose. So we can maybe play a little bit more respect or disrespectfully than previously. And you do have to think as well about what it is that this BLG composition wanted to do, where they kind of just needed to keep on going forward regardless. So their ability to take every single fight.
Let's go,
Maybe they were using it a bit liberally.
Sorry to cut you off there. I do. We like Knight. He gets hyped sometimes, but it's not all the time. It's on his Ari. He's popping off. He's yelling in comms. The man's fired up. And I couldn't be more excited to see if he's going to end up getting that MVP for this one. I know the Ari is always deadly in the hands of Knight, but it's good to see him step up again. I talked so much about, you know, falling to good old Shanks, falling to Creme in a lot of cases, and now trying to win this championship off the back of his performance. And it's 4 for 4 mid lanes. Back and forth we go, K-Man.
It's the pendulum swinging. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for LPL mid laners here, is back-to-back-to-back-to-back LPL mid player of the games. This one absolutely deserved. Not that the others weren't, just that this was truly an outstanding Ari game. I think we remembered that we probably shouldn't give this guy this champion, and I imagine that even going into some future Worlds matchups, potentially, that might be a problem that's rectified.
Well, before we getting ready, at least, for that next draft, for that game number 5, we do have a special treat. Old Rafa has put together a wonderful piece to the LPL English puzzle. We have our own version of Silver Scrapes that's going to be playing here. It is titled Silver Dragons, an inspiration and homage to the LPL. Thank you so much to Rafa. And let's go ahead and have us a